What if I told you that respect from your wife does not come from working harder, but everything to do with how you respond when your marriage is under pressure? I used to disrespect my husband, and he disrespected me. Today, we have a real partnership built on honor and respect. So if you ever wondered why your wife still disrespects you, how to stop making these moments worse, or how to rebuild trust and respect, here is how. The first move is to control your response. Most husbands think respect should come automatically from how hard they work. You provide, you solve problems, you carry pressure most people never see. You make decisions all day. Other people depend on you to stay strong. Then you come home and hear, all you care about is work, or you never listen to me. Maybe she questions a decision you've made. Maybe she calls you selfish. Maybe she speaks to you in a way you never accept from anyone else. It can feel like she is dismissing your sacrifices, your judgments, and everything you are trying to build for the family. So I understand why you want to defend yourself. You may raise your voice. You may start listing everything that you do, or you may shut down because work feels easier than being attacked in your own home. But this is where I want to challenge you. When you match her disrespect, you make it harder for either of you to see what actually happened. Now the conversation is not about the decision, the misconnection, or the concern underneath her words. It becomes a fight about tone, old arguments, and who hurt whom first. Her disrespect is still her responsibility. If she insults you, mocks you, speaks with contempt, or uses withdrawal and emotional punishment, that is wrong. Staying controlled does not excuse any of it. It means you refuse to let her behavior decide yours. I learned this from my own husband. There was a time when I was angry and unloaded my emotions on him. I was disrespectful. He did not match me. He did not become weak, and he did not pretend my behavior was acceptable. He stood there calm and grounded. Because he did not give me another fight to focus on, I had to face the way I was acting. His stability made my disrespect more obvious to me. It made me want to become better. That is what I mean by standing strong. Pressure reveals whether you can stay grounded when the marriage becomes difficult. It does not mean your wife is always intentionally testing you. It means hard moments expose whether you will act from your standard or simply react to hers. So when disrespect happens, slow yourself down. Do not rush to defend every detail. Lower your voice. Keep your words short. If you can stay present and speak clearly, say, I want to understand what is happening, but I am not going to fight with you. If you are too angry to continue, well, take a pause, but do not disappear. Say, I want to come back to this. I need some time to get clear. I want to come back at 8. Choose a realistic time and return when you said you would. If you need more time, simply communicate that directly and name another specific time. The goal is to not escape the conversation. The goal is to stop adding damage before you understand the problem. That is the first move. Control keeps you from weakening respect through an uncontrolled reaction. But staying calm is not enough. It does not tell you whether her concern is valid, exaggerated, or completely unfair. That is why the second move is to seek clarity. Seek it before you correct her. This can be difficult for successful men because fast problem solving is usually rewarded at work. You hear the issue, you find the weaker point, and you make a decision. That may be one of the reasons your business works. But at home, the same strength can make your wife feel managed instead of understood. She says, all you care about is work. You hear a statement that is not accurate. So you respond with facts. I was home all weekend. I took you to dinner. I'm doing all of this for the family. You may be right about the facts. The mistake is trying to correct the sentence before you understand what she is trying to communicate. Maybe what she means is this. Even when you're at home, I do not feel like I have your attention. Maybe you made a decision that affected both of you without including her. Maybe she has been holding on to resentment and expressed it badly. Or maybe she is blaming you for something that is not yours. You do not know yet. So ask one clear question. What happened that made you feel dismissed? Or when did you start feeling like I was not with you? Then listen long enough to hear the answer. Don't ask 5 questions at once. Don't cross-examine her. Don't interrupt every detail you believe is wrong. Reflect back what you heard and say, so when I made a decision without talking to you, you felt like your opinion did not matter. Is that what you're saying? You are not agreeing with every conclusion she made. You are showing that you understand what she experienced. Then you can decide what belongs to you. Maybe you did leave her out of a decision. Maybe you were physically home, but mentally still at work. Maybe her concern is partly valid and partly unfair. Clarity lets you own your part without accepting what is not true. It also helps you separate the concern from the way she communicated it. That distinction matters. Your wife can have a legitimate concern and still express it disrespectfully. You can contribute to the problem without deserving contempt. Understanding her does not make her automatically right, and protecting yourself does not require you to reject everything she says. That is the payoff of seeking clarity. You stop fighting the wrong problem. Once you understand why she is upset, help turn the complaint into a clear request. A complaint tells you what hurt. A request tells you what she wants to happen next. Ask, what would have helped you feel included? Or, what would you like me to do differently next time? She may tell you, talk to me before you make a decision that affects both of us. Or when you come home, give me 10 minutes before you check your phone. Now you have something clear to talk about. You can agree to the request, say no, or offer a better solution. You do not have to promise everything she asks for, but you should understand what she is asking before you decide. This keeps you both from fighting over big words like always, never, selfish, or uncaring. Instead of trying to prove whether you are a good husband, you are talking about one clear action. A clear request may not fix everything, but it gives you both a fair chance to know what needs to change next. If you want a practical next step beyond this video for more clear solutions, download the Bulletproof Marriage Plan. Link is in the video description or pinned comment below to access for free. But clarity alone is not enough. You can understand exactly why she is upset and still leave the disrespect unaddressed. That is why the third move is to set the respect boundary. A lot of great men avoid this because they do not want another fight. You may worry that the boundary will sound controlling. You may think she will dismiss it, turn it back on you, or make the home even colder. You may also be afraid to say something you are not sure you can follow through on. So you let the moment pass. You tell yourself it's not worth it. That does not mean you are weak. That does not mean you don't love her. You may be trying to protect the marriage. But when disrespect keeps happening and you never address it clearly, the pattern has no reason to change. A boundary is not an ultimatum. It is not a threat. It is not you telling your wife what she is allowed to feel. It is you making the standard clear and explaining what you will do if the conversation crosses that line. Once both of you are calmer and you understand the concern, use 4 parts to this. Acknowledge the concern, own your part, name the behavior, and state what you will do. So as an example, I understand why you are upset, and I should have included you in that decision. But calling me selfish or speaking to me like that is not okay. If we start insulting each other, I'm going to pause the conversation and come back when we speak respectfully. That is clear without attacking her character. You are not calling her a disrespectful woman. You are naming the disrespectful behavior, the actual behavior, not her directly. You're not telling her she cannot be angry. You are telling her what kind of conversation you will participate in. Then follow through. If the insults continue, Pause the conversation. Return at the time you named. When you come back, do not start the whole fight again. Begin with one calm sentence. I'm ready to talk. I want to understand what happened and solve it without hurting each other. Then stay with one problem. Do not bring up 5 old arguments. Do not try to prove who is the better husband or wife. Talk about what happened this time. If the insults start again, remind her once. I want to keep talking, but I will not keep talking while we are insulting each other. If the conversation stays respectful, finish it by choosing one clear next step. Maybe you agree to talk before making a decision that affects both of you. Maybe you agree to put the phones away for 10 minutes when you get home. The next step should be small enough for both of you to remember and do. Returning matters because the boundary is not an escape from the problem. It is a better way to finish the conversation, come back, stay with one issue, and leave with one clear action. Do not use the boundary to get even, threaten, or punish her. Your responsibility is to control your response, seek clarity, own your part, state the standard, and follow through. Her responsibility is to speak respectfully, be honest about what she feels, consider your perspective, and take responsibility for her own behavior, for her own actions. Leadership does not mean doing both people's work. One person cannot create mutual respect alone. If contempt, humiliation, or emotional punishment continues after clear conversations and consistent follow-through, stop treating it like one bad moment. That is when deeper help may be necessary. So when your wife disrespects you, remember 3 moves. Control your response so you don't lose more respect by losing control of yourself. Seek clarity so you understand the real issue and own only what belongs to you. Set the respect boundary so disrespect does not become the normal way your marriage communicates. These moves cannot force your wife to respect you, but they do help you stop feeding the pattern. They show steadiness under pressure. They make the standard clear, and they reveal whether both of you are willing to build mutual respect. I know change is possible because I had to change too. I carried patterns into my marriage that I had seen across generations. That history explains some of my behavior, but it did not excuse it. My husband and I both had work to do, and it took years, mistakes, and difficult conversations. But now we are far more equipped through those years of mistakes. Today, we have more productive discussions, more support, more intimacy, more alignment, and a real partnership. You do not win respect by becoming louder. You do not win it by working harder and hopefully she finally notices. You build respect by staying steady, listening without becoming weak, owning your part, and refusing to make disrespect normal. If you are serious and you need leadership guidance and dissect your marriage and help it to grow because your situation may be a little bit different, I highly recommend that you definitely book a free marriage strategy call. It's 15 minutes. We're going to be able to look at your marriage and give you some clarity that you can start implementing right away in your marriage. Link to book is in the video description. Or if you're ready to take things a little bit slower, again, the Bulletproof Marriage Plan is in the video description or pinned comment. Use it to continue this work beyond one difficult conversation and take an honest look at what needs to change in your marriage. You do not need to become colder. You need to become clear, steadier, and more consistent about the marriage you are willing to help build. Watch this video next to continue to apply practical solutions for having a more respectful marriage. I'll see you there.